It's peaceful here, but I'll not be sorry to see the back of these swamps.
This one might serve, but not for long. This may do some damage before it breaks forever.
Blessed Armada, grant these soldiers your protection. I pray you will strengthen their spells and set their blades aflame. I pray you will bless their armor, so no curse may pass it. I pray you see them safe. I pray this in your name.
Lucian's locks. Stop fidgeting, lad.
Yes, by all means, let us partake in the art of conversation. Nothing's changed but for our surroundings. Perhaps we simply ought to hug the coast, and of course I'd much appreciate it if we managed to find Bahara first. Indeed, Tyr Sendilius, if I'm not mistaken. Always was rather the slow sibling in the Pantheon, wasn't he? Quite so. I suppose you too met with somewhat of a disappointment. For we do have to wonder, can a god be called a god still, if they have to plead with another to assume the powers they seem to have lost? Of course I did. Only I'm not foolish enough to let it buy my loyalty.
Oh, hey! Hey! I thought you might be Emmy. I think I love you.
You go. I know I trust them well.
Wither talk about?
Please, good lady, the spear. Seize it and pull. I can nearly taste sweet air once more.
I got it.
Good sir. You've set my body free. Free to crumble to dust at last. But my spirit... Blast! I remain trapped in this mouldering skeleton yet. A spell most terrible. I have heard of such magic, but have never known anyone so foul as to employ it. Brachus Rex. May maggots lace his entrails. After he interred me in this cell, he must have drawn my very soul away from me and stored it elsewhere in the fort. Thus he has bound me entirely to the mundane realm. But I know this place well. I could lead you to its likely location. In turn, you would find a path straight out of this fort. My freedom for yours. What say you? Marvelous, my friend. Marvelous. You'll first have to get inside the fort itself. There's a secret switch on a statue of the Seven in the courtyard. Surely you know it. The switch will open a hatch, and you'll be led into the prison's main floor. I suspect that within Brachus's phylactery room, you will find the container which ensnares my soul. He has likely disguised it well, but search there for another hidden switch. Brachus would have made me a supplicant, a slave to these walls. With your help, I'll die. At last. With dignity. I was fully briefed about this awful place before I came. My goal was to destroy the fiend who had been marshalling the world's most unwholesome weapons and magic into an army he intended to use against the realm. I never thought I would become one of his victims. And yet, here I am. Fort Joy is a dangerous place, my friend. Dangerous indeed. Brachus used this place to build an arsenal of terrible weaponry as yet unseen in our world. Here, he and his researchers crafted punishments and snares contrary to human dignity. Objects that could contain souls, wands that could purge the very essence from sorcerers. My order would never have used such barbaric magic against our enemies. Good madam, you've set my body free. Free to crumble to dust at last. Oh, but my spirit... You'll first have to get inside the prison itself. There's a secret switch on a statue of the Seven in the courtyard. Surely the switch will open a hatch, and you'll be led into the prison's main floor. I suspect that within Brachus's phylactery room, you will find the container which ensnares my soul. He has likely disguised it well, but search there for another hidden switch. Brachus would have made me a supplicant.
Wither is free! Now he can be happy! Now he can get out! When I grow up, I want to be a hero like you. You're a real hero, not only one from a story. You finished your quest. Here, take this. It'll show you how to find my secret fort. And my treasure chest. So here's your last quest. If you can find a way up.
This hole is too small for you to squeeze into.
You are quite safe. I am so glad.
Food. The dragon stares you down with flinty in... Unreadable glyphs mantle this ancient pillar, braided through thick iron rings. The dragon stares you down. The dragon rakes the earth with icy claws. Quakes from the impact knock you back. The freed dragon looks sick and pale. As you approach, he stretches his tattered wings weakly and fixes his intense gaze upon you. Frozen tears glint in his eyes.
My gratitude for your efforts, friend. Yet I am no more free now than I was in those chains. Please, help me find true liberty, or sing me to the endless slumber. But of course that must be why you stand before me. Slain called to Lady Death, and here you are. A coincidence? Ah, my fate, it seems, is not my own to call. My soul is bound to joyless obedience. Purged of my source by the wickedest of witches, I stand in thrall to her every whim. She has only to command, and my traitorous body complies. That you would even ask such a question of a stranger already in your debt. There is much goodness within you, but this task would not be easy. Rebecca is a canny one, cat to your mouse. She consumed all my source with her purging wand. So long as she holds it, she has absolute control over me. If you could retrieve it for me, I could be free again.
Slain rears back in eagerness, grasping the purging wand with razor-sharp claws. Before your eyes, the source from within the wand surges into his draconic form, filling him with a light so bright that you must shield your eyes from the glare. The blazing brightness dies down. Squinting, you now see no dragon before you, but the figure of a handsome lizard. A handsome lizard with the same eyes as Slain. His eyes still blaze, a piercing silver. A triumphant smile dominates his face as he bows extravagantly before you.
Slain. At your service. All like me have such eyes. With them, I see spirits. Not a blessing on this haunted island. You are lucky not to see the desperation that lies before me. If everyone thought like you, this vile place would be little more than a sunny island. Perhaps before we're done, we can return it to such a state. Knowing such a steadfast and noble soul offers help to those in need gives me great comfort. I'd like to offer you the same when you are truly at a loss. When you have no choice but to back down or perish. You will find safety in my shadow. This, I promise. All of my thanks are yours, and yours alone. Farewell, my friend.
Slain smiles at you and turns to leave. He takes no more than a few steps before he shimmers out of lizard form, blurring in midair back into a majestic dragon that soars away.
My, aren't you good? I'm lying. You've no idea how good that feels. And that's the truth. Sorry. No, wait. I'm not.
With a new bounce in its...
Look out. I see a trap nearby.
Stern eyes and a sterner face stare into your
Another crawling rat, tracking your stinking paws beneath my nose.
Among the long crumbled remains of the temple that must have once sheltered his shrine, the stone effigy of a god seems to invite you to put your hands in his. Though your fingers never actually touch, you can feel a grip stronger than any you've felt before grab hold of your very soul, and next, your soul takes flight. Among the long crumbled remains of the temple that must have once sheltered his shrine.
Get those weapons into shape. We'll need them.
As you command.
The shrine depicts Lucian the Divine, avatar of the 7 gods. You hear a strange sound, like rusted hinges creaking and air rushing through a tunnel. A hatch appears behind the shrine.
Shrine, by the looks of it.
Eternal prayer, it worked!
The shrine depicts Lucian the...
The Divine! Even in death he's listened! A door. Do you see it?
The shrine depicts Lucian the Divine, avatar of the seven...
Good madam, you've set my... You'll first have to get inside the prison itself. There's a secret switch on a statue of the Seven in the courtyard. Surely you know. The switch will open a hatch, and you'll be led into the prison's main floor. I suspect that within Brachus's phylactery room, you will find the container which ensnares my soul. He has likely disguised it well, but search there for another hidden switch. Brachus would have made me a supplicant, a slave to these walls. With your help, I was fully briefed about this awful place before I came. I never thought I would become one of his victims.
The elf's skin is pale as a corpse's, but his face contorts with inscrutable emotion. Joy, horror, and rapture flash over him like the changing surface of a pond. His eyes lock onto...
It's you! You! Oh, love, they've been looking...
He spasms suddenly.
Do you know, Dallas? She fears us. Of course she does. She knows what we'll do.
A single tear rolls down his cheek.
I'm not the last. The bishop doesn't count. No, he doesn't count. I'm done for, but you... There's still hope. You'll know. They'll find you. They'll seek you out. You need to go. Dallas, after she took me, she did something. My head. I feel like someone's rummaged their fingers through my skull. Get out while you can. Oh, love, I'm wrecked. Can't go. Couldn't move.
He giggles coquettishly.
Oh, hi! Are you here for the pointy lock undoer? Oh, good. That's for you, then. Bye-bye, Flea Scratcher-my-bob. This place, well...
Muffled sounds suggest that this scuffed old door leads up to the fort's main floor. It's bound to be crawling with magisters.
Whatever lies ahead, it has been a pleasure traveling to...
The more the merrier. It's been too long since my last bloodbath.
Good. Let them try.
I've spotted something.
Looks like this place has been sealed up for a century or two.
Here lies Withermore the Noxious. Here lies Withermore the Sage. Here lies Withermore the Cold-Hearted. Here lies Withermore the Yellow-Bellied. Here lies Withermore the Supplicant.
Won't budge. Won't budge. So, this is your place, Brackus. Can't say I like what you've done with the place. Can't say I like what you've done with the place.
Here lies Withermore the Noxious. Here lies Withermore the Sage. Here lies Withermore the Cold-Hearted. Here lies Withermore the Yellow-Bellied. Here lies Withermore the Supplicant. You sense a great whirl of energy from its depths. A faint voice howls. This must be the container that holds Lord Withermore's soul.
Such a powerful relic is worth protecting.
The jar smashes to Here lies Withermore the Cold-Hearted.
Don't disturb me again, unless you've seen me go. You have seen him? Tell me, where was he? And you're very sure it was him?
She inspects the ring closely.
This can't be. You said he was upon the beach, yes? I need to have a look myself. This simply can't be.
Pipe down, Farah. It's time to accept what you...
Little Yarrow girl. Grown up, flower-headed girl.
What have they done?
She looks at you with hatred etched deeply in the lines of her face.
I didn't want any of this. Ha! I'd die 1,000 deaths before I'd see this go unpunished.
She looks at her father and manages...
As am I. It's strange. It almost reminds me of the creatures Dallas keeps at her side. Sometimes you hear a kind of muttering beneath their mask.
She reaches out to touch her father's hand. He withdraws it quickly before remembering himself and reaching out to Yarrow again.
I had no idea. What a fool I am. There were always rumors about the hammer. Dallas, that is. What she was doing with the prisoners she hauled off to her fortress. I suppose. Wait, before you go, you've helped us a great deal today. Let me help you too. I have a little gold on me, and take this key. I'll show you where you can use it. It opens a door leading into the fort. It isn't too late.
What's happened? What have they done to you?
Worms, darling. Worms in my head. I'm not myself, Yarrow.
Don't you dare apologize.
Don't think of the ugly now. Here I am, here you are, here we are.
Yarrow and Migo talk between each other.
And set their blades aflame. I pray you will bless their armor, so no curse may pass it. I pray you see them.
Divine blessings.
Thank you again for all you've done for us.
The sun shines bright.
Soon enough.
Blessed Armada, grant these soldiers your protection. I pray you will strengthen their spells and set their blades aflame.
Divine blessings. It's good to see Gareth safe and sound.
The goddess's tears still stream freely, but an aura of loving calm now permeates the soft.
I pray this in your name.
Did you see? Gareth's back.
Divine blessings. It's good to see Gareth safe and sound.
The goddess's tears still.
Blessed Armada, grant these soldiers your protection. I pray you will strengthen their spells and set
The sun
their
shines bright.
Soon enough.
I pray you will bless their armor. So my eternal thanks.
It is good to see you. We were afraid. We were so afraid.
pray you will bless their arms.
Divine blessings. It's good to see Gareth safe and sound.
The Red Prince interrupts as you're about to speak.
This woman is a dreamer. I can see the answers spinning in her eyes. Do rest your legs for a bit while I question her. You're too kind.
Red Prince and the Dreamer exchange courteous pleasantries, as if they're finding themselves in a palace hall instead of a death-ridden swamp. She introduces herself as Bahara. To your surprise, they next lie down on the ground in a seemingly warm embrace and fall asleep. What follows, though, is far from peaceful. They claw and thrash as if struggling for dear life, caught in the hold of some hideous nightmare. Then they wake, haggard, exhausted. They speak of a vision, Brahmos, and another red lizard.
Praise the daylight. I am now. There was death in that dream, chasing me like 100 hungry lions, but at least I've new directions. When we escape and find ourselves on the mainland once more, I must search for Brahmos the Wanderer. Then I will finally know the truth, the very secret of my soul.
The proud man has returned, but yours is the pride, is it not? All in this sanctuary rejoice to have Sir Gareth back, but yours is the glory. Good. You did well. These Seekers were blind without their leader, but you returned their one-eyed king. He is a good man. He will try to do well. But you, I think, will be the one to make the true difference. My name is Bahara. Like you, I am a sorcerer. But unlike you, I am also a faithful servant of Amadia. Praised be her name, and your chant has no meaning, for you know not of whom you speak. So let us sweep. Amadia is the Great Mother. She is the goddess in whose womb Gratiana, her priestess in this sanctuary, is teaching me her ways. For several years now, I've been her disciple, but she has resided here for centuries, sustained by Amadia's love. I was like you once. A lost soul driven by My home is here now. This is where I found solace, found sanctuary. I found the Great Mother and have been nurtured by her magic ever since. The guests, they call themselves Seekers. They're brave people and friends to sorcerers. But you'll find them a battered magisters, of course. The Seekers came here to rescue us. They've heard the Shrieker's shriek. I thank the goddess I'm not haunted by their sound. To know one's fate is to be fearless. I reside in Amadia's palm. I am hers to shield or hers to crush, and have you never heard of them? From the tales they tell of Bracca's wreck, they were living weapons, made of flesh and reared in torture. The pain they endured was so terrible, their screams turned to solid. Turns out the tales are true. The Magisters dug deep and returned these horrors to... As you wish. It is the laboratory of a lunatic. A place removed from mercy and sanity where mad Brachus Rex would experiment to his dark heart's content. There are ruins in the marshes. Stonework vultures that perch above the king's long-buried treasure. But his is not a treasure of gold, ruby, and sapphire. It is a treasure of death, weapons, and vile magic. There is nothing on this isle as valuable as the air you breathe. Don't look for haunted quagmires is what they are, and what is mired in them is mad. May Amadia curse his soul for turning
We can finally get out of here, now that Gareth's returned.